Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. The panic buying begins, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if I can really call this panic buying because all of the fuel that these people are buying, they know they're going to use. And why are they getting it, ladies and gentlemen? Why are they getting it in mass? Why are they so-called panic buying? Because they weren't prepared, ladies and gentlemen. Now this is not a video to go ahead and talk bad about people that are flooding the gas stations to try to have enough fuel to just do the things that they need to do on a daily basis. However, it is a reminder to all of us that we need to be prepared, that we need to have the things that we need put aside just in case something like this happens. Imagine if each of these people that were, gathering at the gas stations and getting as much fuel stocked up now that there's a crisis, imagine if all of them had the equivalent of a full gas tank of gasoline put away in 5-gallon tanks. Do you think that they would be panic buying as stated here? Probably not. There would probably be accelerated buying of gasoline, but not like it is now. Gas stations from Florida to Virginia ran dry, and prices at the pump skyrocketed late Tuesday as the hack attack on the biggest U.S. fuel pipeline extends into its 5th day. On Tuesday evening, 17 states and Washington, D.C. declared emergency declarations to address fuel shortages. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if this is it, but you've been hearing me talk about this for a while, that a bigger crisis is needed. They need to come up with crises after crises after crises in order to maintain control over the population. Now, if you think that people, panic buying and doing things like this with gasoline now is not maintaining control, trust me, that's exactly what it is. This is maintaining control over a population. They are studying this and seeing exactly how people react. And I'm sure that they will offer a solution after they examine how people are reacting to this situation. They will not let this crisis go to waste, ladies and gentlemen. As in this crisis or any other crisis, they will not let an opportunity to extend their agenda go to waste. The emergency declaration covers Alabama, Arkansas, D.C., Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, and all these other states that you see listed here. This administration projected that the Colonial Pipeline would restart by the weekend and urged drivers to not panic hoard fuel. I mean, how can we really take their words at face value, ladies and gentlemen, that this crisis will be over by the weekend? We don't know that. What have they shown us to give us confidence that this crisis will be over by the weekend? And this, ladies and gentlemen, when word like this is put out by an administration, and it doesn't matter what administration it is, but when it's put out by an administration and people still panic hoard, it just tells you how much confidence they have in that administration. And like I said, it doesn't matter what administration is. I should change it from administration to government. When government tells people, listen, this is what's going to happen, don't panic buy, don't panic hoard, and they still do, it just shows how much confidence they have in their government. This administration said, we are asking people not to hoard. U.S. Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm told reporters at the White House, things will be back to normal soon. At this point, I'm wondering what normal really is. Colonial has said progress is being made and expects to restart a large portion of the pipeline later this week into the weekend. Markets experiencing supply constraints and or not serviced by other fuel delivery systems are being prioritized, they said in a statement. And as you all know, this is the pipeline. It extends all the way from Texas to the northeast part of the United States. And as stated in a previous video, this pipeline supply is roughly 45% of all of the gas that is consumed by this part of the country. And they go on to say that a ransomware attack on Colonial last Friday underscores the vulnerability of critical U.S. infrastructure to cyber attacks. And as I stated on a previous video, ladies and gentlemen, the vulnerability that this attack underscores is not just a vulnerability within the gasoline or gas delivery systems. I believe that is the vulnerability in everything that has anything to do with the internet, that is connected to the internet in order to be able to operate, which has already resulted in people across the Southeast panic hoarding fuel. And here they show at what percentage each area that they're tracking is out of fuel. Tracking firm GasBuddy reported widespread shortages of fuel at gas stations across southeastern states. For instance, it said 40% of filling gas stations across the Atlanta metro area are without fuel. They are dry. Here they go on to say that 71% of stations in the metro Charlotte area are dry. Wow, 71%. That's just an incredible amount. And from what I understand, the gas stations that are not dry, they are limiting what you can purchase. Over 61% of Wilmington, North Carolina gas stations are without gasoline. 72% of gas stations in Metro Raleigh are without gasoline. And you can read all the other ones here, ladies and gentlemen. And it says here, amongst Alabama, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, Minnesota, and Virginia, nearly 1,800 gas stations are currently out of gasoline. As of midnight, GasBuddy shows the percentage of filling stations in each state without gasoline. And you can see the percentage that are without gasoline. It looks like Alabama is doing the best with only 1.8% without gasoline. To mitigate even more shortages, this administration said Tuesday it has started mulling over the idea of a temporary waiver of the Jones Act, a U.S. shipping law to offset shortages. The Environmental Protection Agency also issued an emergency fuel waiver on Tuesday for refiners to reformulate gasoline in the Mid-Atlantic area. The waiver extends through May 18th for fuel sold in Virginia, Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what I don't understand is this. They're always talking about, like the EPA, they're always wanting to pass rules and regulations in order to save the planet, but now it doesn't matter? I mean, shouldn't they be really happy right now? Hey, there's no gas. We're not destroying the planet like they've been telling us we've been doing for the last several decades. But now, when it really counts, when they realize that we actually need these biofuels in order for society to function, they're like, go ahead and lift all restrictions. Do whatever you need to do. If truck drivers want to drive 20 hours a day, without having a break, go ahead and let them. Because I read an article yesterday where now truck drivers don't have to have the same amount of rest period that they normally do. So if it's okay in times of crisis, why isn't it okay any other time? But then again, I digress. That's just me thinking out loud. It says here that the attack on Colonial is potentially the most substantial and damaging attack on U.S. critical infrastructure ever. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these cyber threats, in my opinion, it's starting to look like maybe this is going to be the next big crisis that's going to be coming our way. Not necessarily this crisis right here with this pipeline, but a cyber security crisis where something really big gets hacked that cripples the United States as a whole. This is where we're headed, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've said in the past, they need another huge crisis in order to continue their agenda, and they're going to bring it. In my life, I've realized this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I think that any of you that have been listening to me for a while probably believe me when I say I'm not a conspiracy theorist. However, I've grown to understand that most everything does not happen by happenstance. That a lot of the things that end up being controlled by government don't happen just by coincidence. I'll leave it at that. The FBI accused hack group DarkSide of the ransomware attack, and I do believe that this group has said that yes, that somebody from their group did it, but that it was like a rogue person that did it. That they did not approve of it as a whole, but it was someone from their group that went rogue. The narrative already being spun is that the group is Russian or from Eastern Europe. Besides Colonial, the hackers launched attacks on 24 other companies in various industries. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we need to be afraid of right there. If they go ahead and do a coordinated attack on several key infrastructure facilities that we need in order to conduct our business on a daily basis here in the United States. Colonial Pipeline told federal officials it would have a better idea when it will restart gasoline and diesel flows by late Wednesday. Let's hope it's by the end of this week, or at least this weekend, because if shortages continue, people will get angry. Remember what happened when stores ran out of toilet paper during this health crisis. All right, I'll leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen. Short video. Just wanted to keep you abreast as to what's going on with this pipeline. Hopefully it will be on by the weekend. But like I said, the government is looking very closely right now to see how people react. This is what they do, ladies and gentlemen. They study people's behaviors in times of crises. That way they know how to combat it later on when it really counts. Having said that, have a great day today. Hey, I do have a premiere this afternoon at 2 p.m. Alaska time. It's going to be a great premiere. I had a great time interviewing the CEO from Nutrient Survival. So if you have a few minutes, jump on in so we can have a little chat session and watch the video at the same time. Other than that, remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper. I am out.